Hello, everyone. I have analyzed the working conditions during the pandemic to help the digital solutions team decide if the company should go back to full in person employment. Since the pandemic has started, many employees have lost their jobs. Others were forced to work remotely, and some were forced to work in person, even with the risk of becoming sick. This pandemic has opened a gateway to working from home with advancements in technology and creative manners of creating a working environment at home. In fact, the vast majority that have been forced to work from home have become comfortable with these conditions, while others find these conditions to be cumbersome. This calls into question whether companies should start mandating in person employment. There are many perspectives to understand before making that decision. First is the resistance to this idea. People against this idea feel this way because they have become comfortable with working from home. Even for companies, it has led to an increase in productivity, a decrease in wasted time and money, and a larger talent pool that also improves the company's image. To begin, there is an increase in employee productivity due to employee satisfaction. Approximately 100 employees of the state of Delaware were surveyed by me, in which they were asked questions relating to their opinions about working from home. And they were asked a question about rating their personal experience working home remotely every single day of the week on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being horrible and 5 being the best. These results showed that approximately 50% rated the experience as the best, and only about 3% rated the experience as 2 or less. Thus, this proves that workers like to work from home and prefer that means of working. An article from the Harvard Business Review found that employees were 31% more productive and that companies had 37% higher sales when employees were happy or satisfied. Therefore, work from home can satisfy employees, leading to higher productivity. This shows that in-person mandate may not be an alluring decision. In addition, working from home eradicated the time wasted through commuting, and it also prevented the waste of money for companies. Employees do not have to spend their time traveling and instead are able to use that time to finish their work, improving the company's overall productivity. According to Global Workplace Analytics, a typical company can save around $11,000 per year for every employee who works from home. An example of this includes the company FlexJobs. They saved $5 million from remote work on expenses such as overhead, real estate costs, transit subsidies, and continuity of operations. Thus, working in person causes these extraneous wastes that working from home prevents, decreasing the appeal for the mandate. Moreover, remote working creates a larger talent pool for employers to choose from and is able to improve the image of a company. When looking at other companies, both Dell, a technology company, and Automatic, a global distributed company known for the creation of WordPress.com, these are successful and functional companies that have implemented a permanent remote working option. Specifically, Dell announced that it wanted employees to be 50% remote by 2020. This remote option was extremely beneficial and did not hinder the company with efficiency and productivity. In fact, by implementing this option, Dell received a notable title from Covalence Ethical Quote, the most ethical multinational company in the world. This only improved the brand image of Dell and led to more success for the company. Automatic CEO Matt Mullenweg told Business Insider that the remote option breaks the constraint of only employing from the same geographical location, since people from different countries can take these jobs, and the talent pool can become international. Instead of only hiring from the local area, companies are able to find different talents outside of their geographical location and potentially increase the overall success of the company. These reasons for improving the company emphasizes the overall enticing nature of continuing the remote option. However, a study by Giulio Acrangeli identified that 55% of the people who were satisfied with remote work were basing their decision on the comforts of the pandemic. Meaning, during the early lockdown, companies became more lenient with their workload, which almost invalidates the employee's perception of working from home and increases the appeal to implement in person working. In fact, working from home has had many negative impacts, such as an increase in isolation, unmonitored performance, and security concerns. While working from home through my survey, people explained that they did not like the remote work due to the lack of social interaction, team collaboration, and free time with coworkers. Also, the study mentioned before utilizes a survey method asking 23 questions to employees and found that people were, quote, missing colleagues, missing getting out of the home, and poor physical work conditions in the home office, unquote. Thus, in person working allows for socialization and averts isolation from branching. Also, with remote working, employers are not directly able to monitor their employees, which leads to a decrease in productivity since employees are constantly distracted at home. In fact, a survey from Glassdoor presented to 1,000 Americans showed that 32% were distracted by watching TV and 27% were distracted by their kids. Thus, these distractions could lead to less productivity while working, showing that in person could be a more effective mandate. Although workers have found the privacy of working from home and creating their own home office as an enticing, the setting up process for that home office can be expensive for employees. Paying for the equipment, having access to reliable internet, and creating a place with no disturbance at home can be very difficult. Some workers depend on the office setup in person working since they do not have access to these more luxurious expenses. Also, there's a risk of security breaches with working from home through the numerous transactions between coworkers on their laptops. Some sensitive information could be sent through the emails that could leak company information and cause issues for that company. Since employees cannot directly speak with coworkers like they could during in person, there's a constant risk of security violation. In my survey conducted in Delaware, people explained how they liked working in person because of the discipline structure at work and the chance to work with colleagues to solve various issues. And the ease of interaction with coworkers was a major advantage for working in person. On the contrary, the rationale for the resistance towards in person working has more arguments, so much so that even large corporations such as Amazon and Google have had issues with in person mandates. When they implemented in person working, they received numerous threats from employees that they would quit their jobs. These successful companies have dealt with employee dissatisfaction, which reduces the need for the in person mandate. Thus, this leads me to my proposed solution to have 2 out of the 5 days of the week to be in person, while the other 3 are work from home. The 2 days would be Monday and Tuesday because they are considered to be the most productive days of the week during based on a staffing firm called Accountemps. They found that 39% of human resource managers found employees to be more productive on Tuesday and Monday. As shown in this survey, there it shows that 80% of the employees were in support of this idea, which would account for the resistance arguments against the in-person mandate and the proponents' arguments for in-person working. Therefore, I suggest that this proposed solution is deeply considered by Digital Solutions to ensure the perfect balance between employers' needs and employee needs. Thank you for your time and consideration.